You're asking me why have you not died, many of you? You asking?
No, I'm asking you who is accountable.
No.
That's what my question was. Who is accountable?
Before, you asked me why have you not died, so many of you, from corona? You remember?
I asked why did you think that coronavirus was not ravaging the population of Uganda?
Because we took measures. Part of the foreign manipulation.
Who are these foreigners? Tell me the country. I don't know who these foreigners are.
There are so many. There are so many. Because you see, the foreigners, especially the Europeans, they are full of arrogance. They, for Uganda is very successful. We have a very strong system because we know what we are doing. But because you have that your own analysis, and they get quite a lot of encouragement from the foreigners, from the homosexuals, from I don't know what.
What have the homosexuals got to do with it?
Oh, they are very happy. They are very happy with Bobby Wine.
Have you realized the journalists from the Western world do not respect African leaders at all? They will ask very nasty questions, very personal questions, and very disrespectful questions to African leaders, and they'll try and tell it to their eye. Come on, these Western leaders should respect our presidents. These are heads of states. They're not just any other person. These are heads of state. The same respect they are showing to those, their leaders from where they come from, is the same respect they should show this gentleman or this lady whom they're interviewing. You know, in a particular interview of Yoweri Museveni, she was being interviewed by this lady from USA. There's a media company from USA where this lady works. I couldn't help but sense, because I sensed a lot of disrespect in that video. I sensed a lot of, this woman was not respecting the president. She was not, I could judge by the questions. I could see the president was not being respected at all.
Part of the foreign manipulation.
Who are these foreigners? Tell me the country. I don't know who these foreigners are.
There are so many. There are so many. Because you see, the foreigners, especially the Europeans, they are full of arrogance. They, for Uganda is very successful. We have a very strong system because we know what we are doing. But because you have that your own analysis, like for instance, you think the problem of Uganda is because I've been in government for a long time. And actually that is the advantage of Uganda. So we don't agree. As long as it is democratically decided on, this is the correct thing. But because you have that view of yours, when charlatans, people are not serious, come up, oh, it is opposition to longevity in government. So you jump up and down in the West. And they get quite a lot of encouragement from the foreigners, from the homosexuals, from I don't know what.
What have the homosexuals got to do with it?
Oh, they are very happy. They are very happy with Bobby Wine. Case of Uganda, the person you are talking to is a very experienced person. There are not many things in the world that I don't know. So, when I'm handling a situation, you should know that I know what I'm doing.
So you are accountable?
I'm not accountable, but I know what I'm doing. Because I cannot be accountable for what I didn't. I'm not the one who started the violence. But I defeated the violence. Actually, our system, I was not even in Kampala at that time. I was also campaigning. But the system automatically defeated because Uganda is not a failed state. It is not a dictatorial state. It's not an Egypt. It's not a Sudan. It's not a Libya. It is Uganda. Uganda, where the people are in charge. Yes, there are some gaps, like the youth group, which is part of our success, but which needs to be handled in a better way, but not in the way they want, the way of violence of.
But what I sense here now is something more than that. It's this sort of pulsating cultural need. And sometimes when I look at, for example, your opponent, Bobby Wine, you know, do you ever look at him and think, I was like that? I was that young man pushing forward, trying to bring change.
What change? Because the situation now is very healthy, much healthier than 1986. Because those young people are not talking about politics of identity, of tribe, of religion, which is what we fought. So those are our products.
So do you feel proud of somebody like him?
Bobby Wine is confused because he's not ideological, and he's being manipulated by so many groups, so many, especially the foreigners.
Oh, which foreigners?
All sorts of, we monitor them.
Tell me, I didn't know there were foreigners manipulating Uganda's elections. Who?
Bobby Wine in particular is an agent of foreign interests. But the social group, the youth who feel marginalized, that's a healthy internal force which we are working with. For the youth group who are serious, who are not part of the foreign manipulation.
Who are these foreigners? Tell me the country. I don't know who these foreigners are.
There are so many. There are so many. Because you see, the foreigners, especially the Europeans, they are full of arrogance. They, for Uganda is very successful. We have a very strong system because we know what we are doing. But because you have that your own analysis, like for instance, you think the problem of Uganda is because I've been in government for a long time, and actually that is the advantage of Uganda. So we don't agree. As long as it is democratically decided on, this is the correct thing. But because you have that view of yours, when charlatans, people are not serious, come up, oh, it is opposition to longevity in government. So you jump up and down in the West. And they get quite a lot of encouragement from the foreigners, from the homosexuals, from I don't know what.
What have the homosexuals got to do with it?
Oh, they are very happy. They are very happy with Bobby Wine. They actually, I think they even send them support.
Why does it come back to the homosexuals? Many years ago, you may not remember this, you told me that there were always homosexuals in Uganda and they lived on the edge of the village and they were tolerated. They were not persecuted. You told me that yourself.
But in Europe, you promote them. You promote some homosexuality. You think homosexuality is an alternative way of life. While for us here, we think it is a deviation. But you told me that traditionally you tolerated it.
Absolutely. So why don't you tolerate it now?
Absolutely. Even now. But what we cannot accept, they are the ones who are hostile. They are the ones who say we should do.
They're the ones who want to be able to live the way they live, aren't they? What I'm not understanding is your connection between homosexuality and a young man who is running for president, who is your opponent, I don't see the connection between the two.
The connection is that because some of the constituencies in the West have their own way of thinking. And for us, we agree with you on some, but we don't agree with you on others. But I think what you would like us to be is that we should be your puppets. Whatever you say is what we should do. We should not say, wait a minute, that one we don't agree with. So now, because of that, those constituencies, anything against us, they jump on it. And of course, they make mistakes by so doing, because they don't know our situation.
Let me ask you about accountability, because obviously there is this issue. You've got the election and you've got the opponents and so on. And there has been violence. And there was concern back in November because more than 50 Ugandans lost their lives. They were shot by the security forces. Tell me about that. Who's accountable for that?
The opposition.
The victims are responsible for the shooting?
Not the victims. The opposition are the ones who wanted to organize an insurrection. Because they say they want to organize here what happened in Libya, supported by you people, by you, the Western governments. What happened in, yes, Egypt? What happened in Sudan, Khartoum? What happened in...
well, these are revolutions that overthrew governments, at least temporarily. But was that really what was happening, or was it a...
That's what they were planning. That's what they were planning, encouraged by actually Western governments, Western elements, I wouldn't say governments, Western elements, press, some this and that, some diplomats.
But 50 Ugandans, more than 50, lost their lives, and it was the security forces who pulled the trigger.
32 were attacking security people.
There was a 14-year-old boy who was killed. He was walking along behind his mother.
Some died in the crossfire. Some died, some 22. But 32 were definitely... Who started that violence?
Well, Bobby Wine was arrested, and then people started rioting. Of that, there is no doubt.
Yes.
And then the security forces
but that one had been planned a long time. It had been planned. You see, because here, you are asking me, why have you not died, many of you? You are asking...
No, I'm asking you who is accountable.
No.
That's what my question was, who is accountable?
Before, you asked me, why have you not died, so many of you, from corona? You remember?
I asked, why did you think that coronavirus was not ravaging the population of Uganda?
Because we took measures. You saw what happened in Washington the other day. You were joking with some of these.
Yeah, last night, yeah.
Yes. You can get these people who have got very wrong ideas. You know, that parliament of the Americans was attacked.
Are you still a freedom fighter?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. Do you have any cause to fight for? You know
somebody else who thought that he was always a freedom fighter was Robert Mugabe. Do you think he was? Do you think you're like him?
Robert Mugabe made some philosophical mistakes, which I told him about, which
philosophical mistakes?
Yes.
I don't know if it's philosophical when your country starts to starve.
But those were part of the philosophical mistakes, because he did not understand the role of the private sector.
But that, I suppose what I'm asking is, I'm looking at you, a freedom fighter, and now you've been in power for 33 years.
For instance, the fight between Mugabe and whoever was there with the whites.
Shangarai. You're thinking about, with what, you mean the white farmers?
Yes. This, for us here, we had our own whites.
The Indians.
The Indians. What did we do? We brought them back. We are the ones who brought back the Indians. Why? Because we understood that these Indians were working for us. When they are entrepreneurs in Uganda here, they are working for us. Now, if you don't see that, even if you get new leaders, but with that same philosophy, you will fail.
I didn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose what I'm asking is whether you just think that it's fine for any leader just to keep going.
If there is a mission to be done, and I'm telling you that in Uganda here, and to some extent in Africa, we have got missions, very serious missions.
These people do not respect African leaders. Kindly. The same questions you would ask your president is the same questions you ask our president, if only they are respectful. Don't bring your disrespect showing our president. Just because somebody is from the West and the president is from Africa. This is why African leaders should resist disrespect from Western journalists. Have a look. First, in the realm of governance, African leaders find themselves navigating a delicate balance between transparency, accountability, and maintaining the dignity of their office, While a free press is crucial for thriving democracy, it is equally important to command respect to effectively carry out their responsibilities. From this video, we can argue that African leaders, Yoweri Museveni and other African leaders, should not passively accept disrespect from journalists, as doing so may undermine the stability and efficacy of their leadership. These people might try to undermine the efficiency of the leadership of an African country. For example, what we have seen with the President Yoweri Museveni and that white lady journalist from the United States of America. Firstly, this is why we should not, or African leaders should not accept disrespect from journalists, depending or does not depend on where the journalist comes from. First, it is essential to acknowledge the fundamental role of the media in holding leaders accountable and fostering transparency. That part she's right. However, a robust journalistic environment serves as a check on power, exposing corruption, human rights abuses, and other malpractices. However, this responsibility does not justify a disregard for the dignity of leaders, Respectful and constructive dialogue between leaders and journalists is pivotal in ensuring that the public receives accurate information about compromising the integrity of the political processes. You have your boundaries. These journalists have their boundaries. African leaders should not allow these journalists to do whatever they want with them. It should come to an end. Allowing disrespect from journalists can create an atmosphere of hostility that impedes open communication. When leaders are constantly subjected to disrespectful behavior, it may lead to defensive reactions, hindering the flow of information and impeding constructive discourse. This, in turn, can contribute to a climate of distrust between the government and the media, ultimately harming the public access to reliable information. The President, Yoweri Museveni, was humble. He was trying to hold it. I don't know he was trying to hold it because there was some aid that is coming. Maybe there was some aid that is coming, which is really not an aid. It's money for their pocket, If it's meant for the people, give it to the people. If it's meant for you, it's you. That's how it goes, Furthermore, the international image of a nation is closely tied to the behavior and decorum of its leaders. Accepting disrespect from journalists can negatively impact a country's standings on the global stage. Diplomatic relations, foreign investment, and international collaboration are all influenced by the perception of a nation's leadership. African leaders must recognize that maintaining a dignified image is crucial. It is crucial for fostering positive relationships with other countries and international organizations. Moreover, leaders who command respect are better positioned to enact positive change within their societies. A leader who is respected by the media can effectively communicate policies, address societal issues, and garner public support for initiatives. Respectful engagement with journalists enables leaders to build bridges with various stakeholders, fostering a collaborative environment that is conducive to progress. That is what these leaders should do to these journalists. They should tell them their boundaries. Know your boundaries. Don't force your things on us. We also don't force our things on you. If you want to bring LGBTQ, we give you, what is it called? Polygamy. All these things are not things that everyone practices, but it is being forced on the Africans. There is no interview where it is not enforced. It is not just spoken, it is enforced, you know? So, let's conclude. While the media plays a pivotal role in holding leaders accountable, African leaders do not passively accept disrespect from journalists. Upholding the dignity of leadership is crucial for fostering open communication, maintaining international standings, and effectively implementing positive change within societies. Leaders must seek a balance that allows for scrutiny while ensuring that the discourse remains respectful and constructive for the greater benefit of their nations. This is what these leaders, this is what these journalists also should understand. There's a balance that they should take. Unfortunately, if the leaders are shown disrespect from the journalists, it will evoke a defensive reaction. They wouldn't want an attack from that person. They consider it an attack. They won't be able to speak their mind out. Information won't be out there. And then democracy will be affected. Democracy is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And these are the words of the American statesman Abraham Lincoln. He once said that. So if we want democracy, we should also want respect. We should demand respect from the journalists. They should respect African leaders. And it happens that journalists from the West mostly disrespect our African leaders. I'm not saying that African journalists do not respect their own leaders. They do. But mostly, you find it coming from the other side. Yeah. So that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Kindly do support the channel by subscribing, join my Patreon, like the video, and you can give the video a super thanks. I'll appreciate. I know it's too many. Choose one that works for you. Thank you.